What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for joining me on another moto vlog. Today I am going to save your relationship, so stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. Toxic relationships, let's talk about that. Have you ever been in a relationship where you like the person, but you fight all the time, or they stress you out, and there are more negative moments than there are positives? Oh, come on, dude, don't slow down that much. I can't pass him. Anyways, yeah, so I've been in relationships like that. I had this one relationship with, you guys may remember Mrs. Jasper Chase. Her name was Katie. We lived in Vero Beach. That's when I first got my R1 and started motovlogging again. So we really cared for each other, but at the same time, not her more than me in this situation. Granted, I might be a little biased since it is my side of the story, but she was really mean to me. Stressed me out a lot. Like, for instance, I have to take a sleeping pill because I have insomnia. Well, she has a 3-year-old named Aiden. Well, he was 3 at the time, and he would wake up in the middle of the night and cry, and we'd have to go console him and put him back to sleep. Well, she would get pissed off at me because I never woke up and took care of the kid. It was always her that had to do it. And I kept trying to tell her, it's like, if I hear him crying, I would get up, but I can't because I'm on a sleeping pill. I'm passed out. I just don't know he's crying. And then I tell her, just wake me up. Push me, wake me up, and I'll go take care of it. But she's like, no, you should hear him. You shouldn't have to have me wake you up. We would get in stupid little arguments like that. I mean, come on. Anyways, it was stressful. And that's just one example. She was mean to me on many occasions, but the problem is that I cared for her. I was also very attracted to her, and we lived together. We shared a vehicle. I was, in essence, a dad because I had been with her long enough that, you know, this kid recognizes me as a parental figure. So, you know, I'm sure you guys have been in relationships like this, and the problem is that it's not good. It's not a good situation to be in. So you only have one life, right? So why are you going to sit there and be miserable knowing that it's not going to work out, but you're too afraid to break up with it because of circumstances, situations where, okay, I live with this person, now I have to find a whole new place to live, or I share a vehicle with this person. How am I gonna get to work? You know, there's these very important aspects of your life that the relationship entangles into that keep you from breaking up with this person. But guys, I'm here to tell you, you just gotta let it go. And I got to a certain point in our relationship where I realized this is not going to work, and so I had to end it. So behind her back, I made arrangements. I got a roommate in Jacksonville. It was actually Oi Dirk. Met him through motovlogging. We became best friends, and he was like, dude, just come move in with me. So I got a place to stay. I had my motorcycle. I wasn't gonna have a vehicle to keep, you know, if it rains or something, I'd be stuck driving the motorcycle, but I did have a mode of transportation. And the house was rented, and it was in her name, so I didn't have to worry about that. So I had to look through those main focuses, those aspects of my life that were going to be highly affected by breaking up with this person, by breaking up with Katie. And so I got it all sorted, and then I had to do it. It's like you just got to rip the band-aid off and just take the plunge, dive right in and do it. And I did, and I was like, look, Katie, this isn't working out. I don't feel like we're made to be with each other, and I'm moving out. And then it happened. She started screaming and crying and begging me to stay and apologizing and talking about Aiden and throwing that in my face, which she had every right to. She was upset. You know, the way she reacted is the way she reacted, and she had every right to do that, and I totally understand. And that was it. She left. Boy Dirt came with his rental truck, and we picked up all my stuff, and I left. And that was it. You know, it's hard. It's hard sometimes to have to do that, but you know, ultimately, it was for the best. You know, now she's, last time I checked, Aiden is around 10 or 11 years, no, I think he's older than that. I think he's 12. He's like 11 or 12 years old. And she's with a really great guy now who takes care of her and takes care of Aiden, and I couldn't be happier for her. Now, for me, I'm single, and I love it. I'm happy being single right now. I have no interest in dating anyone. I'm actually, like I've said, I've moved to North Carolina, and I have got so much on my plate right now. I do not need to start a new relationship. Now, let's say you feel like you could still be with this person and it works out, but you've got a lot of stresses on your mind. Your arguments are there. Things are miserable. There's more positive than there is negative, but the negatives are compounding and making a bigger effect in your life than you want, if that makes sense. So if you really want to continue trying to save the relationship, then you have to communicate. To give you an example with Katie, if I felt that we were still meant for each other, I would have continued to communicate with her and tell her, look, I don't like that you're mean to me, and I don't appreciate. I think we're gonna go this way. Yeah, we're going this way. Cool, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I mean, I could have communicated with her the fact that, you know, she's really mean to me. There's a lot of things that she does that don't make sense and cause me to stress out. And the way you got to approach it is like an adult, and you just got to be like, babe, look, I love you, I care for you, I want to be with you, but this is happening and it needs to stop. Can you do that? Can you do that for me? Can you make that compromise and sacrifice for me? And you just see what they say. Again, it's like a Band-Aid. You just got to rip it off. But that's how you got to do it. Now, somewhere on this road, there is a really nice outlook. I just got to find it. I don't know. I've only been on this road once, and I just remember it being, I don't know. I remember it being around here somewhere. But anyways, oh, and I've got this great phrase. If you're ever in an argument, doesn't matter who started it, doesn't matter who's angrier than the other person, if you use this phrase, it will save you. Say, babe, I understand you're upset, but we're on the same team and we both want the same outcome. Think about it. That diffuses every single situation that you could possibly put yourself in, because it's true. You guys are mad because dinner's not cooked yet. You know, oh, you were supposed to cook dinner before I got home. Well, I had to do other things and I couldn't get to it. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you just stop and be like, all right, you know what? We're both on the same team. We both want the same outcome. Let's calm down and figure this out. Compromise. All right, you had to do other things. All right, I'm really irritated because I was actually hungry and wanted something to eat and I didn't want to wait another hour, but you had stuff to do. I understand. And then you compromise and then you leave it alone. Boom, argument over. Done and done. Saves your relationship. There's no reason to be irritated or angry with somebody. There's no reason to have animosity, because life is too short. And if you love this person, then love them. Don't argue with them over the stupidest, smallest things. And ultimately, if you don't get on the same team, if you don't do those compromises, then ultimately you're going to lose the relationship. Somebody's going to break up with somebody. And again, if you have, you know, your lives intertwined with each other with houses and cars and kids, well, then if it's going to be a bad breakup. So you just have to keep all that in mind. Continue to communicate and compromise. That's all you have to do. All right, now we're going uphill. We are getting to the overlook. I have a good feeling. I think it's this way. The road's pretty nice though, and the weather's great. Look, it's sitting at what, 56 degrees right now. Just not too bad. I'm a little chilly, but overall, man, I'm enjoying it. I got my hoodie on, I got long johns on, I got a nice leather jacket. Life is good. Oh, and these roads are amazing. Man, coming from Florida, I mean, look at this. This is just incredible. Just incredible. Look at this. So much fun. All right, we found it. Turn that off. Turn that off. No, Siri, leave me alone. Oh, guys, look at this. Look at this. Wow. Man, I love being up in the mountains. I think we're gonna get a picture. Good spot for a picture. Oh, no, don't want the gloves in there. There we go. Nice. Yeah, this is gorgeous. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll get back on the road here in a minute. Well, that was a nice stop. I haven't been past the overlook, so this is all new road to me. So let's check it out. Hopefully it's pretty cool. There was a sign that said, you know, when we first turned on the road, there's a sign that says semi-trucks, heat warning, sharp curves, and steep downgrades. So I don't know, we'll see. You know, another aspect of being in a relationship is your own personal development. Now, statistics have shown and science has proven that your body and your mind are not fully grown until you're about 26, 27 years old. So you're still becoming who you are in your early to mid 20s, which is usually the time that you start really finding those meaningful relationships that are going to last a long time. And they could be disguised as a relationship that potentially could last for life. You know, a lot of people will meet in their early 20s, you know, after college, and they decide this is the person that I want to marry, and they get into these toxic relationships and don't even realize it. So you have to keep that in mind. You're not you until you're in your late 20s, and that's something you have to really consider when you're deciding whether or not you want to marry somebody, because you have to realize they're not who they are yet either. So they could be a completely different person by the time they really settle into who they are. But overall, those are the things that you have to keep in mind. You know, you've got to compromise, you have to communicate, you have to get to know the person that they are going to become, and figure out whether or not they're the people that's the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You really have to take all that into consideration before you really dive into the I love yous and the moving in and the sharing cars and the having kids, you know, all that stuff. You have to really make sure that all that stuff is in place, because breaking up sucks. I mean, let's face it. I hate breaking up with somebody, and I certainly hate getting broken up with. Never a good feeling. I had this one relationship, her name was Jennifer, and she was it for me. I actually proposed to her. It was great. I had a great proposal. It was for this the Iowa 5K in Orlando, Florida. We met at an Iowa 5K like 2 years before that, and we started dating because we met there, and we had a lot in common. We liked to run, so it worked out. She was beautiful. Oh my God, she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my entire life, and I love that girl more than anything I've ever loved in my entire life. So I knew it. I was done. I was in my late 20s. She was in her mid 20s, and it was time. You know, we dated for about 2 years before I proposed, and the proposal was great. So basically, we were getting ready for the Iowa 5K, and I pretended to sprain my ankle like 4 days before. And the reason why is because I wanted her to think that we weren't actually going to the Iowa 5K. So for 4 days I hopped. I mean, and I was good at it. Even in the middle of the night, if just by happenstance she was going to wake up, I was hobbling on my leg to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So I played it out, and I felt so bad. She like cooked me dinner, she brought me beer, I laid in bed most of the time or laid on the couch, and she took care of me for 4 days. I felt so bad, but I knew that it was going to be worth it. So I contacted this sign company in Tampa, Florida, and I designed a banner where it says, "Jennifer Frecky, will you marry me?" And it had some nice paisleys on it, and it was colored like my favorite color, her favorite color, and it was pretty big. It was like a 3 foot by 4 foot banner, and I had already bought the ring. I got it at K's, so I was ready. I had the story in line, I had the banner, and I had my ankle was sprained. So as we got closer, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, but we'll try. Maybe we'll just walk it, and we'll do that instead of running. And she's like, oh, okay, no, that's fine. And what she didn't realize was at the beginning of the race, we were going to jog, and I was still pretending that my ankle was hurting. At the 3 mile marker, I had a bunch of friends, and get this, Channel 11 news crew waiting at the 3 mile marker. The whole plan was for me to stop and rub my ankle, and when I kneeled down to rub my ankle, I had a ring in my sock. I was going to pull the ring out. Being on my knees was the signal for everyone to come out and start filming and show the banner. And I looked up at her and I said, babe, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. As with this race, will you finish the rest of your life with me? Something along those lines. And they interviewed us on the news. I mean, it was so cool. And they played it on the 10 o'clock news. We actually recorded it on TV. And obviously she said yes, you know, so there was that. But it was awesome. Such a cool proposal. Such a wonderful, beautiful, amazing woman. And we had it. It was amazing. We had the perfect life. I had a great job. She had a great job. She owned the condo that we were living in, and we both had Infinity sedans, so we were all pimped out and balling. I mean, it was a good life. I even had a motorcycle. I had a 96 Vulcan 1600, and that one actually set me on fire, but that's a whole nother story. What a piece of crap that was. But overall, we had an amazing life, and I actually got a job in Hawaii, which I'll have a motovlog on just Hawaii later on. I'll tell you guys about all the adventures I had there. But we moved to Hawaii, and unfortunately, while I was getting everything set up for us to move in, you know, get the apartments, ship the cars over and all that stuff, I get a phone call one morning, and she's crying on the phone, and she says, "I need you to read the email I sent you." I'm like, all right. So I hung up with her. I got the email, and it's this long email about how she just cheated on me. She had sex with another guy, and it was her ex-boyfriend of all things. So I had to really think about, do I want to stay in this relationship after she so blatantly destroyed our relationship? And I loved her so much that it didn't matter to me. I knew that we were going to be fine. We were going to make it through. So it is what it is. And I forgave her. So we communicated, we compromised, and we moved on. And that was that. That was it. And she moved to Hawaii. We had a blast. She got a job as a server. I was a front office manager at a timeshare resort. We lived life and went on adventures, and everything was great. Well, I have a video coming out about this too, but I'm bipolar, and I was not medicated at the time, and I had a couple bipolar episodes that scared her. You know, it's like, oh, do I really want to be with somebody that's this mentally sick? You know, I don't know if I can do this. And we got into a big argument one time. She jumped out of the car, and my stupid ass drove away, and we were only like 500 feet from our apartment. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal, but I shouldn't have driven away, but I did, because I was angry and I wasn't thinking right, and I was sick in the head. And that was it. That was the moment that she's like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. And I lost her. I absolutely lost her. That was the one. That was the one. I mean, I guess it wasn't meant to be, but man, I don't know, Jennifer, if you ever watch this, I messed up. I messed up. That was bad. But overall, the relationship was amazing, and we had a great time, and I couldn't ask for anything more than what we had. But that's the thing, you know, relationships will come and go, and if you really dive into the relationship in a way that makes you feel like you're confident, and I'm going to marry this person, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. But if you're in this relationship and it's toxic and you're arguing all the time, and there's no reason to stay in that relationship. It's just not worth it. It's just not. So I hope that helps. I really do. If you guys are out there and you're struggling in a relationship, hopefully what I've told you today helps you out. And I'm going to leave you with one other thing. Guys, pay attention to this one. This is epic. So if you ever are at the mall, or you're walking down a city street, and guys, you see a pretty girl, right? They're wearing short jean shorts with a halter top, with their tits hanging out, beautiful bombshell blonde or brunette or redhead or whatever you're into, and you look at her and ogle her, if you will, and your girlfriend catches you and like slaps you, like, and gets mad at you because you looked at another girl. Here's what you say to them: babe, she's just a fire truck. And you're gonna be like, what? A fire truck? Yeah. So think about this, guys and girls. How many times in your life have you seen a fire truck? Oh wait, go ahead, think about it. There's too many. You can't count them all. You've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of fire trucks. The lights are going, the bells are going, the whistles, the horns, the sirens, everything. And you know what they look like. You know what they sound like. Some are green, some are red, some are white, but ultimately, overall, you know exactly what a fire truck looks like. Now, today, tomorrow, or whenever, the next time a fire truck passes you, what are you going to do? You're going to look at it. You know what it looks like, you know what it sounds like, but for some reason, we have to look at it. And that's all a beautiful woman to us men is. It's a fire truck. We've seen beautiful women all the time, all over the place. We know what they look like. But we are wired to hunt. And that's part of hunting, is we look. And that's what it is. So, girls, don't take offense to us guys looking at other women. That's just how we're wired. And the next time, guys, if your girlfriend gets mad at you that you're looking at another woman, all you gotta say is, babe, she's just a fire truck. Hey, listen, guys, I hope that helps you out. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. You guys keep doing what you're doing. I am out.